What's up, everybody? We're at Gateway West today in Fort Worth. Par 54, 4,373 feet for the course. Hole 1, par 3, 192 feet. There is a straight gap. Personally, I think that's kind of the sucker gap. Throwing left hand and we'll see how it goes. With a felon. Those cars were kind of in the back of my head. I didn't want to accidentally force it over and
I wasn't going to
flex all the way out there. Probably wouldn't have been possible, but it was in my mind.
Guess if they wanted people
So I'm scrambling.
Put strings over it or something.
So some of this course is dirt tee pads like we see here. Some of it is concrete. It looks like they're getting ready to put a concrete one in here, which is nice. Very wooded course, especially for Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas. We're playing here to kind of hide from the wind today on Christmas Eve. Got out of there with the 3. So hole 2, 247 feet, playing back the opposite way. This one's also getting ready to get a concrete tee pad, looks like, which is super exciting. So the reason for some of the holes having dirt pads and some of them having concrete pads, some of these holes were part of an older layout that I don't know the full history of it. From what I heard, it was close to a gold level layout, but the city repurposed part of the park, so they kind of had to scramble, like adding these 3 holes in this traffic circle. And if you come play, you'll notice some of the holes have 2 T signs. So hole 3, 204 feet. Kind of a straight shot for a right-hand backhand that just fades out to the left. Fun fact, this is the only hole that my brother and I both share an ace on. I aced this hole the day after meeting Paul Macbeth with a 4-claw buzz in early 2020 before the Waco tournament. And then threw an ace the next day, so I stole a little bit of the magic, I guess. I don't know. And then a couple years before that, my brother threw some crazy flex shot that just dodged every tree in this traffic circle, and he rung it up. So that's kind of fun. Wasn't able to get out of there with the 3. Hit too many of the trees to make it happen. Crossing the street. Hole 4. The river is behind the basket on this one, so if you really pure it, there is some danger, but it's 294 feet, so you are throwing across a bike path here. You can kind of see where it comes out of the bushes on the left and goes into the bushes on the right. So you always want to keep your head up for cyclists. We are sharing this park. I kicked off to the right side of the fairway here. I'm going lefty forehand. Still working on that part of my game. Couldn't make it happen. Justin got a 3, I got a 4. On to hole 5, 189 feet. This is the first hole that, on the tee you're looking and there's another basket straight ahead that's way down there.
Good line.
That's hole 6's basket. It used to be this tee pad's basket. But they chopped it in half. So this one, I've seen someone ace this one with a Justice by throwing it kind of high, nose up like that, but obviously their Justice was a lot more overstable than my beat-in Bobcat. Little sneak peek of that new bag I'm testing out. Be on the market in a few months. Wasn't able to get a birdie. Justin had a great shot, but it just was right behind one of those thick bushes. On to hole 6, 215 feet. little backhand turnover or a forehand hole for righties. Pretty stock gentle hyzer for lefties. You just want to watch out for the river on the right. If you get a bad kick or you turn something over, it could easily be gone forever. You can see the basket now just barely. You got a couple of like sentinel guardian trees
There.
around it. Throwing a Apex Mustang that's a little beat in. Just trying to get it to gently turn. Turned it a little too much, but got a good kick. So the rough here at Gateway is very, very, very thick. Ugh, this green got just in there. Got a little bowl that you got to throw over. And there's the Trinity River. So I was in tap-in range for a 2. Justin had to scramble. Got a 4. On to hole 7. This is one of my favorite holes. It's not hard. 235 feet. You just have 2 sideways trees to throw under. So 2 double mandos, I guess. And I threw a roll ridge too, and I got on it way too much. I threw it like it was a 10 speed, but it's a 7, so it turned over, but stayed low and straight. My favorite play is to throw something like a Raptor and get a big flare skip up the hill. There's some more cyclists, so definitely want to keep an eye out for them. Justin's throwing a harp here, and oh my gosh, that thing was like a heat-seeking missile, and that tree just blocked it. So I got almost inside the circle here, scooting up. During some times of the year, if you go too straight, like if I threw this same shot but a little higher, and it would have gone off over my right shoulder past where Justin is, it would be in the water. There is a pond that fills up over there. I thought that tree direction was going to put me right in the bucket. So you can see how close the bike path is to the grass here. It's coming out of the trees. You can see the wear. So definitely something to be aware of. Both got out of there with a 3. Hole 8, 367 feet. This is one of the holes that I think shouldn't be a par 3. Here's another sneak peek at this new bag. Putter pocket, big zippered side pouch. Cool pattern. See, yeah, the basket's way down there through that little tunnel.
But
you don't have to throw it through that tunnel. There is a nice big wide open gap on the right that you'll see. I'm throwing an instinct here, really trying to force it over. I think I was trying too hard. Throw something flippy like a escape or a jackalope or leopard and let the disc do more of the work. That's probably a better shot shape for this hole. I've just been starting to like throwing that beat up instinct for turnovers. Justin getting some cool kicks. I am deep in there. You can barely even see me. I'm just having to pitch out sideways. But it's going to zoom in here on the basket. So this gap that we're zooming in on is to the right of that tunnel that you could see off the tee. So the fairway is actually kind of S-shaped. It goes straight and then bends to the right and then bends straight again. So bunch of bad throws in a row for me, so got a big number coming, unlike Justin, bringing it up for a sweet 3. I'm getting a double bogey, putting it within 1. Hole 9, 145 feet, but this hole is tricky. Basket's right there. There's forehands for lefties or righties. There's backhands for lefties or righties. You got all the shots, thumbers, tomahawks. You just got to execute because the gaps are small.
The one I wasn't thinking of.
It's Justin going forehand with a stall. I'm going backhand with a soul. And it doesn't flip. But luckily I didn't kick into the traffic circle. I was worried that I did. It's about 10 feet behind me. And I'm just trying to dodge these guardian little bogey trees and get out of here with a 3. So going into the back nine, I've got Justin by 2 strokes. Hole 10, 184 feet. This one does throw over the walking path, which cyclists will kind of bomb up on. So I'm throwing Bobcat, just keeping it on hyzer the whole way. One of my better throws on this hole. I usually don't have a problem hitting these trees. I just tend to stand something up flat a lot or swing it wide like Justin does. Not a terrible spot. You do have a lane to putt from there. But you do have to kind of stab it out, so you tend to run long like Justin just did. So yep, easy 2. Brings me back down to 2 over par. So I try and get towards even. Hole 11, 338 feet. If you have a great forehand, or if you're left-handed, this is an awesome hole. I'm throwing that felon again, and I released it on hyzer. It didn't stand a chance. You do want to work right,
Nice.
because there's a row of trees. I'm sorry I didn't film the rest of it, but pretty standard hole. You just don't want to be in the rough on the right or the left, and you're able to scramble like both of us did. Hole 12, 306 feet. I think it plays a little longer than that. That tree in the middle of the field is about pin high, so if you can get something hyzer inside of that, that's great. Kind of hyzer flipped a longhorn into this headwind here. I'm very happy with it. Pretty sure I am inside the circle. Justin's going Cloudbreaker 3, hanging something out wide to the right. Much safer play than mine was. He's about where that tree is, and I hyzered out or stalled out early. I'm kind of underneath the canopy of the rough, so I don't have much to work with. I'm going forehand roller here with my utility disc, hoping that it'll slice off to the left, and it goes straight as can be. End up having to throw a turbo putt to put myself on the green. Not pretty. Hole 13, 255 feet. You got the road on the left. You have a chain past the basket. That's OB down there. You'll see that on our upshots. And sometimes there's water. There used to be a tree about 5 feet to the left of that tree, and you played them as a double mando. This hole's much easier now. That tree died, unfortunately. Go and turn over with the instinct with all that airspace to work with out there. So yeah, again, cyclist galore. You want to be aware of where they're at. Be ashamed to hit one of those. Cloudbreaker forehand into Justin. We've got a left to right wind out of the south right now. So we both kind of ended up in the same spot. So that chain, like rope looking fence behind the basket, is OB. Ugh, couldn't make the any-putt happen. Yeah, there's a little low spot here, kind of between all those cypress trees. I think those are cypress trees. Justin held any longer. Still wasn't quite what the doctor ordered, but we both made our putts for a 3. On to hole 14. I think this is the hardest hole on the course. 347 feet. Wooded tunnel shot. This hole's so hard, people have figured out that you can kind of pitch back out towards the road, bringing the road more in bounds, but you can play a safari route around, but it's pretty risky. Through the passion, released it a little late. Later than Justin released his, so I missed that tree. But he put himself in decent position to attack the edge of the green. And I'm too far to the left, so I'm having to throw like a little touch flex shot with the understable mid-range, because man, this hole's tough, and I'm very happy with that out of my hand. And a little ninja branch got me, deposited me down here, and from where I'm at, you cannot see the basket. I'm left with just this goofy forehand. putting me just inside the circle. I got very lucky that didn't roll away. That one stings. I don't think that one's a par 3. But anyways. Hole 15, 289 feet. This is a fun hole. This is another one of those holes that used to be part of a longer hole. So there is a painted tree. To my understanding, it's not a mando. It's just an indicator of where the basket is. So I'm throwing the Bobcat. Got a lot of snap on that one. A little deep of the pin, I think. Justin throwing more of the classic route. I thought that was going to skip in. Yes, I'm a little deep in these bushes. Justin almost parking it. Great birdies there. And on to hole 16, 224 feet. This is a fun little hole. There's definitely some easy, like, safe routes if you just want to play for 3, but if you want to play for 2, you got to throw something really committed. And I overcommitted, but got really, really lucky. Can't believe I didn't get sucked into the rough. I just got kind of pushed out instead of those Velcro trees sucking my disc in. A little inside with the bird. That's a pretty big mistake. Did not make my putt. So Justin's sneaking up on me. We're running out of holes. Hole 17, par 3, 181 feet. You can see the basket. There is a straight line on it. You couldn't even drive a smart car through the gap, though. You got to shape something a little bit. Justin and I both going MD3s. I've greatly misfired. We got pretty lucky to be able to straddle out into the fairway. I'm going with my Crystal Fierce here, just trying to turn something through that little tiny gap. Oh, and I sailed it. Justin going harp, little stall shot. Got caught by that thick rough. I think we both got out of there with 3s. Hole 18, the map showed it being straight. And there is a basket over there. We used it as a practice basket. This hole is in the island right now, though, so if you go back and look at where it zooms in, there's a triangular part where the road splits. Also, this hole, when it is in the island, you got to be extra aware of traffic as well. Justin's going origin turnover, looking real pretty, and then it just got flat and sailed. It's in the traffic circle, deep OB. Going felon lefty again, and I did not hang it wide enough. Barely kissed off the curb, but OB. So that's Gateway. Definitely a fun course. Check it out. Watch us throw some shiggles here because we weren't happy with the results. But yeah, fun course. Easy. I mean, you can play 2 rounds here as long as it's not crowded in the time it takes to play at some of our bigger, longer courses. The name of the game here is keeping it in bounds, so definitely check out Gateway in Fort Worth. Let me know how you like it, and we'll see you out there.
Oh, get in there.
Oh, okay, so
You hit the pole.